Taxes. Those two little words can strike fear into the hearts of even the bravest Americans. Every year we gather our W-2s, our 1099s, and our receipts, praying we haven't misplaced anything crucial. We squint at complicated forms, desperately hoping we don't accidentally become white-collar criminals because we misunderstood line 47A. It's enough to make anyone reach for the aspirin. But what if I told you that former President Donald Trump had a plan? A bold, some might even say radical, plan to change the way America does taxes. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive into the world of Trump's tax proposal, a world where income tax is out and tariffs are in. Before we get to the nitty-gritty of Trump's plan, let's take a quick refresher on what income tax actually is. In the simplest terms, it's a tax on the money you earn. Work a job, get a paycheck, Uncle Sam takes a cut. It's how the government funds things like roads, schools, and that giant inflatable Abraham Lincoln they bring out for parades. But here's the thing about income tax. Not everyone pays the same amount. The United States has a progressive tax system, which means the more you earn, the higher your tax rate. So a billionaire will pay a larger percentage of their income in taxes than someone making minimum wage. Now, let's talk Trump. His big idea: get rid of income tax for a lot of Americans. That's right, you heard me correctly. Poof, gone. But hold your applause, because there's a catch. To make up for the lost revenue, Trump proposed slapping tariffs, essentially taxes on imported goods, on products coming from other countries. We're talking everything from cars to clothes to that little plastic doodad you never knew you needed until you saw it on Amazon. This was the cornerstone of his plan: eliminate an income tax for many and making up the difference with tariffs. Trump didn't stop there. He also wanted to extend those juicy tax cuts passed back in 2017, the ones that were set to expire. We're talking lower taxes for businesses, big and small, which sounds great in theory, right? He also threw in some extra goodies, like exempting overtime pay and those sweet, sweet Social Security benefits from income tax. Oh, and did I mention a new deduction for anyone who buys an American-made car? It's like a buffet of tax breaks, but instead of food, it's your hard-earned money. Okay, so we're swapping income tax for tariffs. Sounds simple enough, right? Not so fast. Let's say you're in the market for a new TV. You find a beauty online, but it was made in, say, South Korea. Under Trump's plan, that TV could be hit with a hefty tariff, maybe 20% of its price. That means the cost of your dream TV just went up, and that extra cash goes straight to the United States government. Now, imagine that same scenario playing out for everything you buy that's made overseas. Clothes, shoes, electronics, that novelty coffee mug shaped like a sloth. It all gets more expensive. Suddenly, that income tax cut doesn't seem quite as appealing, does it? So, who comes out on top in this tariff-heavy world? Well, if you're part of the wealthiest 5% of Americans, you're probably pretty thrilled. We're talking significant tax cuts, folks. Imagine tens of thousands of dollars back in your pocket. But for the other 95% of Americans, the picture isn't so rosy. Remember those higher prices on imported goods? Yeah, that's going to hit your wallet pretty hard. And for those who can least afford it, the impact could be even greater. Now let's talk about the big picture, the potential impact on the U.S. economy. On the one hand, some experts argue that these tax cuts could lead to economic growth. Businesses might invest more, create more jobs, and boost the economy. Sounds great, right? But here's the other side of the coin. Those tariffs could trigger a trade war. Other countries might retaliate with their own tariffs on American goods, making everything more expensive for everyone. And when everything is more expensive, people tend to buy less, which can lead to, you guessed it, an economic downturn. As you can imagine, Trump's plan has sparked quite the debate. Supporters argue that it simplifies the tax code and puts more money in the pockets of hardworking Americans. Critics, on the other hand, call it a giveaway to the wealthy that will ultimately hurt the middle class and the poor. And then there are the experts, those economists and policy wonks who dedicate their lives to understanding these complex issues. Many of them have raised concerns about relying so heavily on tariffs, warning that it could lead to higher prices, job losses, and a whole lot of economic uncertainty. So there you have it, Trump's bold plan to shake up the American tax system. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one thing's for sure. Understanding how taxes work and how changes to the tax code might affect you is crucial. After all, it's your money, and you deserve to know where it's going and why.